I saw this cow coming into the crush, so I know she's lame, but even if I didn't see her walking, just looking at this inner claw, we can tell there's a problem in the toe of this cow's hoof. This is the Hoof GP, and this is how to fix that problem. So first off, I know there's a problem because I saw her walking in and I know she's lame. But even if I didn't see her walking in, because this hoof is so elongated and so high in this toe area, I know she's deliberately avoiding walking on this part of her foot because it's sore. So this isn't overgrown, it's underworn, if that makes sense, because she's not walking on it, so it's not wearing away. She's not walking on it because if you had a sore toe, you would walk on your heel as well, as I'm sure many of you who have stood on a piece of Lego or an upturned plug or whatever will know. Anyway, let's get on with fixing it. Using the grinder here, we're going to make sure this outer claw is perfectly correct, and as we start to work on this inner claw, you'll see she is flinching away, so she's not enjoying the grinder, pushing down on whatever is hurting underneath. So we'll stop with the grinder and we'll start with the knife. Can you guys hear her mooing, by the way? She's She stopped because I did it. She's probably going to do that throughout the video. There you go. She's probably going to do that throughout the video. She's not in pain. She's just not very happy that she's in the chute. Crush. Okay. You can see where this is separated. So this has come away from here and you can see it's beveled underneath where that separation has started. This is delamination. Look, it's in layers. Layer, look. Just like an onion, except when we trim away these layers, our eyes are not going to water, but our noses might, because this does not smell fantastic. It's actually bubbles sometimes there. Yeah, see these bubbles? Oh, look at that. So this is all hollow in there. So I'm gradually reducing the height of the whole foot. But I'm doing it very gradually because I don't want to go too far, but I have a feeling we are going to have to remove a substance. That's one of the hazards of being a hoof trimmer. Can you see it? Oh, that tastes like... Anyway, moving on. This is where I need to be uber careful. See, I'm using a slight sawing action because otherwise I'll need to put too much pressure to get the initial cut started, if that makes sense. Now that I've pared this away, this is all wall horn from the top side. I know there's no flesh in here or tissue, so I know I can grind this away with the grinder in a second. I'm going to continue removing this portion of the hoof horn and then come back to get rid of this with the grinder because this is very tough hoof horn. Even despite the fact that this knife is still like a razor actually after about 50 cows today. I have to be gentle here. You see, by rights, if this was a normal claw that was perfectly healthy, right now we would be cutting into tissue, but because it's rotting, we can take this away. In fact, we need to take it away. It's not a case of we can take it away, we need to take it away. Get the hook of my knife in there, pull up, round, down and across, and then just snip that bit off. You can see now that this is all underrun, so I'm going to change. This blade is a right-handed blade. I'm going to change to a left-handed blade so that I can swoop up. You see, that's the back of the knife. It won't work. Whereas this knife is pointed the other way. I'm not sure if you guys have actually noticed that these knives are handed, but they are, and it's particularly important when you're dealing with problems like this. It's right the way up in there. I need to be patient. I don't want the cow being in the crush for any longer than she needs to, as I always tell you guys, but I do want to do the best job I possibly can. So unfortunately, sometimes that means that these cows are in the crush for longer than we would wish. But look, it pays off dividends, because look, this is tracking all the way up there. This is a completely delaminated sole, and at the tip of my knife there you can see digital dermatitis attacking the corium inside. Now that I've tracked all the way up there, I know this is going to need removed, all of this is going to need removed, and this is going to need removed. So there's some distance to go. Using the hook of my knife to try and stay away from that digital dermatitis. If we even touch it, it'll start spewing claret, the red stuff. Wow. It just keeps going and going and going, doesn't it? The back of my knife is now rubbing her corium because I'm trying my best to get as close to it. And that is what's producing that red stuff. Right, this hoof one is really hard. You can probably hear the strain in my voice actually. So we're going to get the grinder on this to speed up the process. So if we just come in from this angle here, you can see just how much of this hoof we've carved away. There is a huge portion of it missing now, and we've still not finished.
The man behind the curtain.
He's right behind the curtain for a reason. Hashtag face for radio. At least they make myself laugh.
Yeah, just yourself.
Trims like this are fantastic. They get right to the root of the problem, and the healing can begin almost instantaneously. Believe me when I tell you that this cow will no longer have any hoof troubles to worry about.
How cool is this today, by the way, folks? So I'm working at a farm where my brother-in-law Mark works. He's actually my favourite brother-in-law. I'm working with Craigie Boy, who is one of my brother-in-laws. Stop doing that. I said I'd get him to stop.
My thing,
stop.
You know?
No, stop. Kev Boy, who is my other brother-in-law, and unfortunately Robbie Roo is here as well. Robbie Roo is my least favourite nephew, but it's nice that he's here. Really nice, isn't it? So I'm working with 3 brother-in-laws and a nephew today. How cool is that? Anyway, that is everything from the Hoof GP. Goodbye. What should they do, Robbie Roo?
Subscribe and like the video.
We should, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
Cheerio. Bye. That was a rubbish. Say bye.
Oh, bye.